Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss the second lesson of geography, that is lesson number 9, forest and wildlife resources. The points to be discussed today are forest, classification of forest, deforestation and its impact, and remedies for forest conservation. But forest and natural vegetation. What is meant by forest? The accumulation of trees, scrubs or heaps of grass is called forest. Accumulation means a collection or gathering of trees. Trees means that woody plant having single stem and many branches. Scrubs means small plants, and grass, short grasses are there. Collection of a grass is called a heap of grass. So what is meant by forest? The accumulation or collection of trees, scrubs or heap of grass. Then what is meant by natural vegetation? Natural vegetation means a vegetation which are growing without the help of man. That means a man is not going over there to put water, chemical fertilizers, insecticides, etc. And they are growing by themselves. Such vegetation are called natural vegetation. So what is meant by natural vegetation? The vegetation which grows naturally without the help of man is called natural vegetation. The other name of a natural vegetation is the virgin vegetation, and this type of vegetation we can find only in the Himalayas. Sundarban, delta region of a river Ganga in West Bengal is called a Sundarban, and remote areas of a Thar desert, means inner areas of a Thar desert in Rajasthan. So what is meant by natural vegetation? The vegetation which grows naturally without the help of man is called a natural vegetation. What is the other name of a natural vegetation? Virgin vegetation. Where such vegetations are found, they are found in Himalayas, Sundarban and remote areas of a Thar desert. So what is meant by forest? The accumulation of trees, scrubs or heap of grass. What is meant by natural vegetation? The vegetation which grows naturally without the help of man is called a natural vegetation. What is the other name of natural vegetation? Virgin vegetation. Where such vegetations are found, they are found in only in the Himalayas, Sundarban and remote areas of a Thar desert. Then classification of a forest. So forests are classified on the basis of administration, ownership and management. So on what basis are forests classified? On the basis of administration and that ownership and management. So on the basis of administration, that forests are classified into three. First one is a reserved forest, second one is protected or preserved forest, third one is a unclassified forest. So on the basis of administration, forests are classified into how many types, which are they? So on the basis of administration, forests are classified into three. First one is a reserved forest, second one protected or preserved forest, third one is a unclassified forest. Then what is meant by reserved forest? Those forests which are reserved for getting timber or forest products on permanent basis are called a reserved forest. Means those forests there that we can cut, we can get timber and other forest products like gum, honey, resin, etc. on permanent basis. They are called a reserved forest, and they means permission is not given for cutting the trees, collecting the firewood. Firewood means for using as a fuel, and to cultivate or graze the animals, take the animals for eating the grass. So what is not allowed in reserved forest? Cutting of trees, collecting forest products, then that cultivation or grazing of animal. Then these forests, they are under the control of a government, and this type of forest occupy 54.4% of the total area under the forest of India. So what is meant by reserved forest? Those forests which are reserved for getting timber or forest products on permanent basis. What is not allowed there? Cutting of trees, collecting for firewood to cultivate or grazing of animal. Then who manages that sector forest? Government. How many percentage of a land area is under reserved forest? 54.4%. Then second one is that a protected or preserved forest. In your textbook, only protected is given. Other name of a protected forest is a preserved forest. And local people. Local people means those people who are living near the forest. They are allowed to collect a firewood for fuel, as a fuel for cultivation, grazing the cattle without causing any harm to the trees. So those people who are living near the forest, they are given the permission to collect a firewood. They can do cultivation and take the animal for grazing without causing any harm to the trees. And protected forests are also under the control of a government. This type of forest occupy 29.2% of the total area. So what is meant by protected or preserved forest? That local people are allowed to collect a firewood for cultivation, grazing the cattle without causing any harm to the trees. Who manages this protected forest? Government. How many percentage of the total area is under protected forest? 29.2%. Then third type of forest is unclassified forest. The forest which are not classified, and because they are located in inaccessible area. Inaccessible means remote areas, and which are very dense, and such forests are called unclassified. The forests which are dense and which are not classified because they are situated in the inaccessible areas. Human beings cannot go easily inside the forest. Such forests are called unclassified forest, and there people can cut the trees, can do cultivation and take the animal for grazing. So what is allowed there? There is no restriction, means it is allowed there. Cutting of trees, they can do cultivation and take the animal for eating the grass. Such type of forest occupy how many percentage? 16.4% of the total area. So on the basis of administration, forests are classified into how many types? Which are they? Forests are classified into three. First one is a reserved forest, second one is protected forest, third one is unclassified forest. Reserved forest, the forest which are reserved for obtaining wood, the forest products on permanent basis are called a reserved forest. And people are not allowed to cut the trees, then they are not allowed to do cultivation. How many percentage of they are controlled by whom? That government. How many percentage of the land area covers a reserved forest? 54.4%. And then second one is a protected forest. What is meant by protected forest? Local people are allowed to collect firewood for cultivation, grazing the cattle without causing any harm to the trees. Who maintained such a forest? Government. How many percentage of a total area is under protected forest? 29.2%. Third one is unclassified forest. The forest which are not classified. Why? Because they are situated in the inaccessible areas. Human beings cannot go inside, and they are dense. Such forests are called unclassified forest. What is allowed there? Cutting of trees, cultivation and grazing of animals. How many percentage of forest occupy unclassified forest? 16.4%. Then on the basis of ownership and management, forests are again classified into three. First one is a state forest, second one is communal forest, third one is a private forest. State forest means those forests which are controlled by the state or central government. And most of the forests in our country are of this type. So what is meant by state forest? The forest which are controlled by the state or central government. Most of the forests in our country are of that state forest. Then communal forest. That communal forest means the forest which are controlled by the local self-government organizations like Gram Panchayat, Taluka Panchayat, District Panchayat, Municipality, Municipal Corporation, etc. And third one is a private forest. That means those forests which are owned by private individuals. And most of these forests now have become barren, dissolute. Trees are not there because they are every now and then, perhaps sadly, they are cutting down the trees in the forest. Then such forest we can find in Odisha, Meghalaya, Punjab and Himachal Pradesh, etc. So on the basis of that ownership and management, forests are classified into how many types? Three types, which are the state forest, communal forest, and private forest. What is meant by state forest? Those forests which are under the control of a state or central government, and most of the forests in the country are of that state forest. What is meant by communal forest? Those forests which are controlled by the local government institutions like gram panchayat, taluka panchayat, district panchayat, municipality, municipal corporation, etc. Private forest, those forests which are owned by private individuals, and most of these forests have become barren. Where that private forest we can find in India, Odisha, Meghalaya, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, etc. Then deforestation. What is meant by deforestation? Cutting down of trees in the forest is called deforestation. That means destruction of a forest. And it is a problem facing by not only by India but all over the world. So it is what type of problem? It is a global problem. So what is deforestation? Destruction of forest. Cutting down of trees in the forest is called destruction of forest is called deforestation. What type of problem it is? It is a global problem. This problem is faced by all the countries of the world. Then what are the impact of a deforestation? Impact means result of what are the result of a deforestation? First one is that increase in pollution. Now pollution has increased because of a deforestation. That amount of carbon dioxide has increased in the environment. Then decrease in rainfall. That now rainfall is decreasing because of deforestation. That trees in the forest, they prevent rain clouds and helps to bring rainfall. Now trees are not there in the forest. That is why rainfall is also very less. Then drought. Drought means the situation when there is a rainless condition. Rain is not there. That situation is called a drought. Then soil erosion. Removal of soil from one place to another is called by wind, water, rain, etc. is called a soil erosion. Now that means a heavy rainfall will come, heavy wind will come. That the roots of the trees, if trees are there, they prevent this soil erosion. Then wild animals lose their habitats. That means forest is the home of animals. Now forest is not there. That is why that most of the animals have lost their homes. Majority of the animals, they are in that sanctuaries, national parks, and reserves, etc. Then some animals become extinct. Extinct means some of the animals, they are going to disappear from the earth within that 5 years. Such animals are called extinct. Now you know number of elephant, tiger, lion, etc. are decreasing. What is the reason for that? Because of the destruction of a forest or deforestation. Then global warming, that means temperature is increasing in the environment, and not only in India, all over the world. Then problem arising out of a greenhouse effect. Then loss of natural beauty, that forest is considered to be the ornament of nature. If a man is cutting down the trees in the forest, the beauty of a nature will lose. Then rivers getting eroded, that a heavy rainfall will come, then that rivers are getting eroded. So these are the impact of that effect of a deforestation. First one is an increase in pollution. Second one is a decrease in rainfall. Third one, drought. Fourth one, soil erosion. Fifth one, wild animals lose their habitats. Living place, that is the meaning of habitats. Then some animals become extinct. Extinct means they are going to disappear from the earth within that 5 years. Then global warming. Then problem arising out of a greenhouse effect. Loss of natural beauty, rivers getting eroded. Then what are the remedies for forest conservation? That earlier lesson also I explained the meaning of a conservation. Conservation means something is going to destroy, then they are protecting, that is called a conservation. Now we know forest, that a forest is decreasing, then we are protecting, that is called a conservation. So what are the steps we have to take for that forest conservation? First one is that people should be encouraged to use a renewable source of energy. You know, renewable source of energy, they never get exhausted. We can use it again and again. So we should make use of a renewable source of energy like a solar energy, wind energy, bioenergy, etc. instead of wood for their firewood, fuel and other needs. So what is the first point? We should encourage the people to use the solar energy, renewable energy like solar energy, wind energy, bioenergy, etc. Then second one is that research should be carried out in order to find out that new things which can be used as fuel in place of a wood. Now we know most of the trees are cutting in order to use it as a fuel. So instead of that, government should encourage to do research to find out new things that should be used as fuel in place of a wood. Then third one is that if some trees have to be cut for that some needs or construction, same type of same species of a trees should be grown, and there should be a total ban on cutting trees which are not fully grown. So what is the third point? If that we are cutting the trees for construction or some other needs, we should plant the same species of the tree, and there should be that total ban on cutting the trees which are not fully grown. Then fourth one is that the industries which get their raw material from the forest, they should be compelled, forced to plant the trees. So what is the fourth point? Industries which get raw material from the forest, they should be encouraged or they should be forced to plant the trees for their needs. Then fifth point is that there should be strict restraint to see that a forest condition does not sustain loss under the name of a development of ecotourism. We know no, many of the tourist places are inside the forest. So to attract that tourist from other countries, from our country, many developmental things are taking place in that forest. So that should take place, but at the same time it should not destroy the forest. So that government should see that means that forest should not be destroyed under the name of development of ecotourism. So what is the first one? Where people should be encouraged to use a renewable source of energy like a solar energy, wind energy, bioenergy, etc. Second one is that research should be carried out for things which can be used as fuel in place of a wood. Then if some trees have to be cut for construction or some other needs, same species of same type of a tree should be grown, and there should be total ban on cutting the trees which are not fully grown. Then industries which get raw materials for their industries from the forest should be forced to plant the trees. Then there should means the government should see that forest should not be destroyed under the name of a development of ecotourism. Then next point is that we should encourage that awareness programs to make the people understand about the importance of forest among the local people and as well as the other people. So widespread programs should be arranged for creating awareness among local people for forest conservation. Then next one is that information about forest conservation, they should be included in the school textbook and colleges, and the necessity of forest conservation should be explained to the students. That means you are studying this lesson in order to create awareness among you. You should also know that what is the importance of forest, why it is necessary, like that. So information about the forest conservation should be included in the school curriculum and the colleges, and means students should be explained the importance of forest conservation. Then next one is that intensive steps should be taken to encourage the programs on social forestry and agroforestry for the need of a forage and that firewood. That means severe steps should be taken to encourage the program of a social forestry. Social forestry means that planting the trees in the railway on railway track, government offices, then barren lands, etc., with the help of students, government servants, etc., is called a social forestry. So we should encourage programs like a social forestry and agroforestry for the need of forage, means for food and for firewood for as a fuel. Then next one is that a forest should means we should make use of the forest resources within limit. And last one is that means by clearing that damaged trees, we should see that other healthy trees are saved, and their development is very fast. So these are the steps should be taken for remedies for that forest conservation. So what is the that sixth one, that a widespread program should be arranged for creating awareness among the local people for forest conservation. Then importance of a forest should be included in the school curriculum, and the necessity of forest conservation should be explained to the students. Then eighth one is that intensive steps should be taken to encourage the programs on social forestry and agroforestry. Then we should make use of the forest resources within limits. Then by clearing that damaged trees, we should see that healthy trees would be saved and their development will be rapid. And the forests are damaged due to forest fire. Especially in the summer season, that for means that branches of the trees, they rub against each other and produce a fire. So during that time, that we should take a steps to douse the fire immediately, and independent system should be implemented at a national level. Then thousands of pilgrims gather at the fairs, public fairs, or circumambulation at the holy places in the forest. We know that some of the holy places, they are means fairs, etc. are there inside the forest. So thousands of pilgrims, they are coming over there. And circumambulation means parikrama, saying no to do that parikrama of holy places. So that during that time we should see that the forest is not destroyed. Then at that time the waste which is accumulated is not clearly properly, that is not cleared properly, so the forests are polluted. So that pilgrims, they are gathering at that holy places in the forest, they are throwing that waste matter into the forest and destroying the forest. So during that time we should see that we should take immediate steps. Then last one is that there should be reserved place for domestic animals to graze. Most of the forest, they are destroying because of grazing of animals. So that reserved places should be made for the animals to graze.